Hey everyone, showing off a fun little mod feature I finished up this week. This is wall climbing. I'll start by saying that, like with all my mods, this will be playable with Xbox and with a custom games browser. This is accessible to absolutely everyone on haloreach MCC. Okay, so here's some footage of the feature, the ability to wall climb. Okay, so you toggle the ability on by pressing armor ability button. Then, as you can see, you can walk up and along walls and ceilings. I gotta say, I was really pleasantly surprised with how smoothly this ability functions. It's ever so intuitive to use and seems to work really quite reliably. I did not think it was going to work anywhere nearly as well as this. It's pretty great. Once you're on a wall, you can walk along the wall sideways, you can jump to climb higher, or you can stay where you are and you can turn around and shoot at people, or you can press the armor ability button again to toggle it off to fall to the floor. It's nice and responsive, so if you're fast enough, you can quickly turn the ability on and off to drop a short distance to safely descend from a height. As you'll see in this video, it works just as well with map geometry, like cliffs and trees, as it does with forge-placed objects like buildings. So you can really build anything that you want players to climb over. It's really going to work nicely. The sky is the limit with this one. Literally, if you build a column up to the sky limit. So I made this feature for my upcoming Flood mod, which will have lots of special abilities in it like this one. But yeah, the idea here is I want the infected Flood players to be able to crawl over walls and ceilings to ambush people. Going to be seriously cool. And with some of the maps forgers are making for this mod already, because there's quite a few people making maps for this, I've had a look at some of them and they're going to synergize so nicely with this, because there's things like holes in the ceilings and really big heights that players can climb up, and oh my god, it's going to be nice. I personally cannot wait for this. Watch this space for more features to come. I'm probably going to be posting some more videos of upcoming stuff shortly. Okay, so how it works. If you don't want the illusion ruined, skip to the next chapter now, because I'm about to explain how this works behind the scenes. You might have noticed a soft whooshing sound while the ability is on. That's the sound of a wall proximity check being carried out 3 times a second. If the check finds a wall or a ceiling very close to the player, then I move a platform directly to the player's feet. So instead of sticking to the wall, technically you're standing on a little platform, like a window cleaner. So where is this platform? Well, I've scaled it down to 1% size so that you can't see it unless you look very, very closely. The bulk of the script is just the proximity check, and it works by using a clever little trick in the way that coding works in Reach in these game types. So when you spawn an object with script, the object will get displaced if there's something in the way. So here what I do is I'm spawning 8 objects in a ring around the player's waist, and then I'm measuring the distance between the spawned object and its expected position. If that distance is bigger than 0, it means it got displaced when it spawned in, which means there's something in the way, right next to the Spartan. That means the player is stood next to some sort of wall, so hey presto, they've passed the proximity check, they're next to a wall, which means I move the platform to the player's feet. To check for ceilings, I do the exact same thing again, but with a little halo above the player's head, instead of a ring around the waist. The whooshing sound is the sound of those 16 objects being created. The reason you don't see them is I delete them instantly after their creation, which means they never actually render in or anything. To keep the script short and efficient, I lay out the ring of objects by putting a little spinner object of the player so that it can turn the code into a function which repeats the same steps 8 times in a row, spinning 45 degrees each time. To make sure that other players don't get affected by your invisible platform, I've got a complicated script which figures out which player is the local player so that the platform only spawns for that local player. This is quite a hard networking topic to explain, so I'll simplify it by just saying the result is that the only platform you can see and interact with is the one that your own first-person player creates. So if you walk underneath another climbing player, you're not going to bang your head on their invisible platform. Finally, there's just a fairly simple script which detects when your armor ability is being used, and then uses that as an input to toggle the proximity check on and off. It also turns off the armor ability so that it only functions as the toggle instead of as active camouflage or whatever else your armor ability is. So this is a really neat little feature. It could be used in all sorts of game modes, honestly. For example, you could have a capture the flag map where 2 teams have to climb across buildings or across a cliff face, or perhaps even like a 3D mind-bending lattice of bridges that snake around at weird angles and stuff. Just some really, really crazy maps that wouldn't make sense without the mod. Yeah, they could be really quite fun. But you could also have a horror map where there's like a single player stalking everyone else through a woodland, kind of like a Predator or Alien or something like that. Or you could have like a, I don't know, superhero themed map with like Spider-Man or something like that, you know. There's really lots of different stuff you can do with this. But yeah, as I say, the first thing I'm going to be using it for is this flood mod that I'm making. And then if you remove the wall proximity check, this could actually be used for a lot of other stuff as well. This could be used as a sort of flight that would literally let you walk through the air, or you could make it only work in a certain zone. For example, you could use it to walk across water, and I think it might even work with vehicles. So you might be able to make a sort of flat plane that vehicles could fly across even if there's nothing there. You could also make it team specific so that only one person can use it or one class ability can use it, like the Predator thing I mentioned. Yeah, lots of different stuff. Okay, so that is everything for this teaser. I call it a teaser because it's not yet a finished game type ready to be played. If you want it to be, please like, comment, subscribe, share, check out my sponsorship page, and do everything that you can to support me so that I can keep hammering away at this. Like I mentioned, this is going to be part of an immensely cool flood mod, but only if I can get the support to finish it, because it really does take crazy amounts of time to make mods like these. I mean, this feature alone took, I don't know, about a week. But yeah, either way, this feature alone is just really cool. I cannot wait to play with it. And once I finish up the flood mod, I'm probably going to add it to a bunch of other game modes too and see what kind of stuff we can make with this. Alright, till the next one.